The story for the job is Mike McNeil is a self-medicating, hard-drinking, decorated New York City detective whose toughest assignment is himself. His unconventional approach to fighting crime makes him a great cop, but it takes a toll on his personal life, which is complicated by his wife, his girlfriend, and a squad room full of unique characters. This critically acclaimed single-camera series was shot entirely on location in New York City. I wish this show was never canceled. I absolutely love this show. It is hilarious, dramatic, and parodies every cop show, especially NYPD Blue, on the planet. The stories for each of the episodes are great, and some are actually based on actual events told to the writers by real cops in New York. But most importantly, the characters are the best part of the series. The relationships between these detectives is so rich and real, you feel like you really know these people. However, the character of Mike McNeil is someone you really wouldn't want to know in real life. He drinks, smokes, takes barbiturates, lies all the time, and cheats on his wife, among other things. But for some reason, probably the humor, this character becomes so appealing to the audience, and you actually care for him and worry when things don't go his way, like when his wife gets close to the truth about Mike's girlfriend. Same thing happens years later with the character of Gregory House in the series House MD. The show's humor is so infectious. When I'm watching this show, I am giggling almost every minute that goes by, and my brother can hear me through the wall in his room. And there are times when quoting this show makes my ribs hurt. There is this one scene at the end of the first season that actually myself, my dad, and my brother quote all the time since the show first premiered. There's a scene at the end of the first season where Mike goes into the bathroom of the bar, and he's just trying to quit smoking. He needs to go someplace, and he and it looks like he's actually taking out a pack of cigarettes to light up, but he's actually taking out a smoking patch, nicotine patch, to put on him. And when he puts on the patch, he just stands there and he breathes, to let the nicotine through his system. He just, and then he gets this look of, fuck it, and just takes out a pack of cigarettes and he lights one up. And when after that first puff he takes it, he just steps back from the cigarette and is shocked and just goes, "Whoa! I should have started doing this since the beginning." And just starts to continue smoking, and it's just hilarious. And the way they solve cases of violent crime is different and hilarious from other cop shows. And the things that happen at the precinct that has nothing to do with the work and is just the shenanigans that happen in the office are hilarious. Like when one detective brings a telescope to work and they look out the window and see a woman yoga-sizing naked, but then notice some furniture is blocking the way. 3 of the male cops, including Mike, get janitorial disguises and go over to her apartment and say the furniture is blocking a vent. And to their surprise, there actually is a vent underneath the furniture when they move it. And then they go back, and look through the telescope again at her and get to see the full picture. They also happen to see a guy selling drugs to kids in the window next to her apartment, and they go back to the place in their cop uniform to arrest the guy. The woman sees Mike and is confused. Later, the lieutenant calls Mike into his office and asks why a woman across the street is suing this particular precinct. Mike stutters and finds he cannot lie his way out of this. I was on the floor laughing my ass off at this point. I give the show a good solid 4 stars. Unfortunately, the show was canceled due to the fact that the network, ABC, pushed back the second season's premiere to adjust its schedule for more family-friendly programming in the wake of the 9/11 attacks. And eventually, the series was canceled, leaving us on a huge cliffhanger ending that had us guessing about what will happen next with all the characters, for everything was starting to go down the shitter in these people's lives. It was aggravating. This is the unfortunate curse of good shows that end too soon, like the good Sonic the Hedgehog show, which also ended on a cliffhanger, Firefly, the original series of Star Trek, the revival of Dark Shadows, that too ended on a cliffhanger, and so on and so forth. Especially when they end on cliffhangers. And unfortunately, that is not enough for the show to get picked up, and excuse me, and unfortunately that is not enough for the show to get picked up, so we can at least get the show to continue and have a proper ending. Unfortunately, not every show can have the following, like Star Trek and Firefly, to get a film adaptation. But there is a bit of silver lining to the cancellation of The Job. I haven't watched the show yet, but I have heard nothing but good things about it. After The Job was canceled, a majority of the cast and crew went to produce a show that lasted longer and is loved as well. The show is called Rescue Me. And ironically, some of the character traits for Mike from The Job went into the character of Tommy on Rescue Me. If you love cop shows and movies, this is a great show to watch and laugh at. If you need something to laugh at, this is a show to make your chest hurt from all the laughing you will be doing.